Hello everyone, welcome to the Social Club back up north, as it should be. Adam McCullough joins us. Ped, the man, the legend, the real true face of the Ball Street
Let's
channel.
be honest. Let's be honest. The more people understand that and get behind it, the quicker this channel will get some subscribers.
Sound. Right, we're taking your questions. Get involved in the comment section on YouTube right now. If you're watching this after the fact, unlucky, check back next week. Ped, we got a question though first from Twitter. Do you want to go on, you ask it?
Paul at O'Kane_LFC says, after every other top six club has looking to improve their squad, how can Liverpool not replace Coutinho? Go on.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm looking forward. There's two Everton questions. It's all right. Fine.
It's
look, it's. I don't want to over egg, but it feels criminal to bring in 140 million quid for a player, regardless of instalments or whatever. To brief the major journalists associated to Liverpool in the Northwest, saying that they're prepared to reinvest that money, and then not. I've got no problem with them saying. It's tough. Look, it's very tough. I think we've got a good team. We've got a pretty good squad. But effectively, we'll come to the end of this transfer window having improved the squad defensively with Van Dijk sound. I've got no problem with that.
Sure about that, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, but in an attacking sense, we've basically let two players who could have finished the season with double figures goals in Coutinho and Sturridge walk out the door. And that's left us with more game time for Dom Solanke and Danny Ings. And for all the will in the world, I think Dom Solanke's got all the tools to have a very good career in football. And I really like Danny Ings' application. But Danny Ings is as likely to be a 12 to 15 goal season forward as he is to become the next
Danny
Shane Long.
Ings screams Stoke City.
He's got, he's Burnley all over it. I think the lad scored 9 or 10 goals in his first season in the Premier League, and he was still young. He's had 2 seasons out with injury. It's not his fault. I think he's got all the right attributes in terms of he's fast, he's gnarly, he'll run all day for you, which Jurgen Klopp absolutely loves. But has he got what it takes to be clinical in front of goal to score loads of goals? I'm not sure he has. So, no, as a Liverpool fan, it's a bit of a piss take that we've not replaced Coutinho.
I don't think Liverpool's problem. Obviously, you need a striker and you need to replace players that are going out. But I don't think your problem is being scoring goals.
No.
And I think, yes, you can buy a defender. And I said this at the time, and this isn't me as a Manchester United fan just taking a dig. I feel like Klopp has got to a point where he needs to tweak what he's doing tactically to get a trick out of this team.
We're saying this,
because there's only so many times you can do the same thing.
19 games unbeaten in the league,
then
we've lost, and we've lost 2, I think, in the league all season. 3 in the league, all season, which is a reasonable.
It's all well and good doing that though, but you've got the same problems that you know are there and staring you straight in your face.
I'd be investing £40 million of that money in a goalkeeper now.
100%.
That's what I would have been doing.
Yeah.
Forget about any other position on the pitch. You got a good goalkeeper who can win you 12 points a season or even more. Then that's it. I just can't. I don't understand managers and blind spots. It's mad. It's like, and do you know, like the media tell us all the time that football managers know a lot more than we do, and football people like to tell us they know more. Yeah. But we go to match, we see the blind spots, we see where the faults are, and when you see managers refuse to address those, almost because out of spite at times, I think that's the most frustrating thing.
But here's the thing, I don't. Klopp's come out today and he's basically said it's unlikely we'll do anything in the short term, meaning before the window's shut.
That's not a bad thing.
No, exactly. And this is the thing. I think there's a temptation to throw the baby out with the bathwater because we've just lost 2 games on the bounce. No one was complaining about it when we beat Man City, which is what football's all about, isn't it? But I've got no problem with them saying, because here's the thing, we've fucked ourselves, and this Liverpool have got themselves to blame here, because we've sold one of our best players, and then we're going to other clubs and they go, we don't sell our best players in January, you're stupid. And we're like, oh, right.
We do.
There's no one else do this as well. So we've made this rod for our own back, and that's
whose
why
decision
Liverpool,
was that, by the way, to keep him in the summer?
The owners.
Not Klopp's.
No, the owner Klopp wanted rid in the summer.
So is that not a mistake on their part?
Yeah, but I again, I don't disagree with it from a PR perspective, because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If Liverpool let go in the summer, then it's selling club.
But then if you sell him in January,
ambition.
you look like a
well,
tit anyway.
they've done it the same. Exactly. The point is, they got half a good season out of him. They should have just kept him for the full season, again, in my opinion. But if the manager doesn't want him, then they've left the decision with him. But again, it feels like a major option, because you're right. Goal scoring is not our problem, but it is our strength. Why undermine what you do well? Because Sadio Mane, he's still scoring. He's still scoring good goals and important goals and assisting as well. But he's not performing to the level that he was last season.
You still need a striker.
Coutinho was performing better than him on that left wing position this season, and what he means is you're putting reliance on your three guys, which is okay, fine. Everyone's got the best three players. Every club has got three players that you struggle when you lose one or two of them, and that we're the same as anyone. But what we had this season was just that extra one player of true quality, which meant you could afford to choose 3 from 4 in any given game, which meant you always had a top quality player to bring in, and that's where we've undercut.
So was it not a
ourselves
mistake
little
on Klopp's or the board's behalf not to pay the extra money to bring in Keita then?
I don't think that's not a thing.
Is that a press?
That's bollocks.
Thing?
Like, yeah. By all accounts, that's the problem with this transfer stuff, is people hear things.
As a United fan, I'm not.
No, but you're doing it just as much as everyone else does it. RB Leipzig don't give a fuck. 20 million is nothing to them. They're one of the richest owners. You've got one of the richest owners in world football. 20 million, they're not asked. They'll keep a player for 20 million all day long. So the idea that there was a tipping point, by all accounts, isn't true. But there's a case to be made where we'll just spend 100. Yeah, fine. I mean, look, this is the good thing and the bad thing with what we've got, is that we've got a manager who gets good things out of players that people don't necessarily appreciate, and having a long-term contract means that he's got the confidence to be able to take a slightly stretched out.
I kind of still feel though that he is. I understand, like Jose Mourinho said it the best way. Like, there's no point buying a player in January you wouldn't buy in the summer. Like, there's no point doing that. But at the same time, like, if you're gonna let him go and you're not going to, you've made the decisions. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And ultimately, I think as well, I think it comes down to more so the manager. In terms, like, you can buy all the players you want, you still have to change things a little bit. I think Klopp's got to the point in his career as manager of Liverpool where his thing that he's doing works to a certain extent, but you've got to tweak it to adapt to the Premier League. And I think Louis van Gaal failed to adapt to the Premier League, and he lost his job because of it.
I don't think that's a great comparison, if I'm honest. But I think, again, this is a Liverpool side who scraped into 4th place last season, and by and large this season are ticking along nicely into the last 16 of the Champions League, competitive in the top 4. As far as a progression goes, we're bang on track for where we need to be as a football club. Not where we want to be. I want a fucking FA Cup. I want to win trophies. I want to challenge for Premier League titles. But as far as a progression as side goes, I think we're doing okay. But inevitably, look, what it boils down to, we'll move on to another point, but what it boils down to is it looks right here and right now like a bit negligent to let basically nearly 30 goals go out of your side and not bring any in. Seems a bit soft. Ped. Will Everton sign a left back? If not, will Steve Walsh be given the boot? Personally, I think he should be sacked anyway, says Soph Gallagher 4.
No and no.
You're not going to bring a left back in?
No.
Is that criminal?
Yes, it's criminal. It's criminal as Liverpool. No, it's actually more criminal because
Liverpool
actually have goalkeepers or players you can play up front. We actually don't have a left back, which is an absolute fucking crime.
Who plays there at the minute?
Some lad.
It's Cuco Martinez.
It's Cuco Martinez, who might as well be some lad because he is terrible. But you know what? That's not being fair because he's a really bad right back playing left back. That's not his fault, is it? He's a really bad right back playing left back. But that's not his fault. It's absolute disgrace from the football club that in the summer they didn't buy an up and coming left back to take over from Baines. Because that's been needed for 3 or 4 seasons now. And they didn't register Luke Garbett, who looked like a few years ago had a really promising future. Probably gone now. And we've got 3 left backs on loan. So they're decisions that the club have made.
Yeah.
But
you got Theo, mate.
Yeah.
I
don't know if he can play left back, but he can play. But the problem is though, if you haven't got a proper left back, we haven't got many left footers. It leaves it leaves you playing predictable football because you can't go down the left. You can only go down the right or over the top, which is mostly what we do. So we've got problems. No, Steve Walsh, is he behind it all? We don't know.
Just to clarify for the people who don't know, who is Steve Walsh and what does he do?
Someone clarify for me.
He's your director of
He's
football?
our director of football, but I don't think he's a proper director of football. I don't think he's got the nous or the power to actually do what that job's supposed to be required.
A director of football as well has to foresee issues that are coming. And
Exactly.
I think at Everton, you look at Everton over the last number of years, you think, what have their strengths been? Leighton Baines has been a huge part of that, and Romelu Lukaku up top. I know he bought Sandro and he hasn't really done anything, but you haven't really had a plan of action to replace Leighton Baines, like you said. And Romelu Lukaku, is Wayne Rooney still your top goal scorer on 10? That surprises me that Wayne Rooney is your top goal scorer, because at Manchester United last season, it didn't look like he could hit double figures in the league.
He couldn't have just stuck on 9 and let me have my prediction that he wouldn't get to double figures this season, could he? The prick.
He's got 11.
He's definitely on double
No,
figures.
but you're right. There are two instances where someone who's paid a lot of money should be doing that, but we don't know, because we don't know what we've just been having a chat about it.
Because good directors of
for
football,
one of our shows, it's a good director of football will know the ins and outs of a football club. Maybe that's the biggest problem with Steve Walsh. He doesn't know the ins and outs.
The director of football is supposed to just set the ethos, isn't he?
Well, that's what
set the style.
That's what we've just been saying. Then a proper director of football,
from a passing, pressing manager to a
exactly. There's no clear direction at Everton Football Club, and supposedly you just bring coaches in who just their job is to get the players. Whereas, I mean, there's a story going around that that Steve Walsh had five centre forwards, who fitted the type that we needed, and Koeman just wanted Giroud, and that was it. But surely, if you're a director of football, you go, no, I'm buying the player that you've asked for, and he's coming. And whether you want Giroud or not, that doesn't matter.
Or you could at least have a few options.
Yeah, but that's
absolutely.
So that's so who knows what's going on at Everton Football? It'll be reviewed in the summer. I'll probably bring someone else in and we will throw the baby out with the bathwater, though. That's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick one, actually. Someone saying Vince Chapman here. Is zonal marking killing Liverpool FC? No. My good friend and partner in crime, Chris Page, have done an amazing video on zonal marking on the Redmen channel. Highly recommend watching it. Ross, what have you got for us?
Good friend, you just slagging him off from it as well.
One for Ped, said Schneiderlin going to West Ham. What do you think?
Why does it not work for him?
Because
because he's shit.
He got married in the summer, and God knows what that's done to him. But I think two reasons. I think last season he had Ross Barkley in front of him, and he just kept it nice and easy, won the ball, give it to Ross, and Ross would get us up the pitch. And I think this season, as well, he's just not bought into. He was obviously sold this idea that Everton money was not a problem, and we're building, and you're going to be working with a Dutch coach and someone you worked with at Southampton, and it's all going to be great, and you're going to move in the right direction. And because it hasn't gone in that direction, I think he just hasn't got the heart for it. And when you look at him, you just look at a player who wants to be anywhere else. And it's strange because he is playing games as well, so it's not like he's not playing football. I think he's played 8 of the last 9 games. But I just don't think he buys into. I don't think he also takes responsibility for Everton being in the situation they're in. Like, oh, that's their problem. This is not what I was sold. I was sold a team that was going to push for Champions League. Well, you can't have that ethos, and it'll only drive you one way.
That is a danger when you get a new manager and then you change him after you've made a fair few signings.
Yeah.
But when we had Morgan Schneiderlin, I was really excited when we signed him, because he looked like the central midfielder that we needed. He was someone that could sit there, tidy things up, pass the ball off. And he had a bit of class to him. And then I actually think Van Gaal kind of coached some of his natural instincts out of him, which was obviously still affected with that. And he became a player that seemed unsure in himself, nervous on the ball all the time, didn't quite know what he was on the pitch to do. And Van Gaal ruined him.
He's very negative as well. Everything goes backwards.
But he never used to be. He used to be very progressive, and whilst he would do the defensive side of things, he would help a team move forward and he would help keep things ticking over. But I think in that whole Van Gaal era, it kind of he's gone backwards. I think he's lost that confidence in himself, and he's not gained it.
He doesn't look fit either. And when I mean that, obviously you can get through Premier League games. But when you look at centre midfielders now, and they have that extra little bit about them, and they can make that yard really quick. And we're in a football world now where it's all about pressing and about getting to the ball as quick as you can to just stop the opposition and getting a turnover. It doesn't look like he's got the physical. He's a big lad, obviously. He just doesn't look like he's got the frame that can get.
He's not very proactive.
That can
as well.
cover the ground quickly. As I say, I just think maybe the makeup of the team doesn't suit him anymore either. And you know, if we could get someone like Nzonzi in, I mean, it'd be a big ask with the time left. But if we could get someone like Nzonzi, he looks like the kind of player that just gets around the pitch effortlessly. You know, 2 or 3 strides and he's up the pitch. Where it's Schneiderlin, you could stick him on a scooter and I don't think he'd be up the pitch.
Sounds okay.
It's quick.
Cool.
So.
Couple more for us, please, Ross.
Yeah, Luke Bingham says, apart from City, who's your prediction for the finalists of the FA Cup? And obviously the winner after that.
Apart from City, what's happened with City? Have they got a bye all the way or something?
No, they're very, very good. They're
They're
very good at football. They just pass the ball really well. And when people try and kick them off it, they just keep going. Actually, a very good football team. You might want to take note.
I haven't watched.
Well, I'm the same. Saturday night I was watching Casualty. All this VAR stuff, I was more into people being intubated and all that stuff. I mean, you know,
fantastic.
Buzzwords.
Do you think United are going to go all the way?
I would like us to do well in the FA Cup. I really like the FA Cup. I was talking to you guys earlier. I love the FA Cup. I don't know why it's kind of taken a shine of it with Champions League and getting top 4 and all that. But from back in the day, I remember my first memories of big games are like the 94 Cup Final, 96.
95 is better.
I'll forget that one. But yeah, I like the FA Cup. I want us to win it. And it's probably, you look at the league, 12 points, very, very, barring a miracle, it's not happening. Champions League, we're not the favourites for that. Although with Sanchez now and Mourinho, you never know.
Yeah.
He's won it with lesser teams.
Absolutely.
But I think the FA Cups are...
Tottenham would be
winning that.
No, but all the finalists.
Well, it's an interesting one for them, isn't it? Because of course they got the replay, but there might become a tipping point. Because if you've seen Spurs' next month is horrendous, the amount of fixtures and who they're playing, there might be a decision point where they put a few more eggs into that
there's
basket.
There's always another, and I think someone like Leicester would be the shout because I imagine in the next couple of weeks they'll secure their top flight status, and you know, anyone below the top 6, that's all but they're open to do now. Yeah. And once they do that, then they've got a free runner, haven't they? And they've got players in form, Mahrez, Vardy, you know. And
Club Puel's doing well as well. Leicester, I think.
But he scares me.
What do you mean?
Just the way he talks.
Oh yeah.
He's like a Bond villain. It's all very quiet, but underneath, you know,
he's just always hanging around by the tunnel.
Amazing. Right, one more question for me, please, Ross.
McLaren Nimbus says his Klopp wastes his Sturridge.
Has he wasted Sturridge? No, not at all.
Has Sturridge wasted?
I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think you can take the blame. Anyone takes the blame for Sturridge. I think a lot of people want to blame Daniel Sturridge as though he wants to be injured, as though he doesn't want to be fit and available for it. He's just unfortunate. It happens with footballers. Daniel Sturridge, if you know, I think he's not been available for about a month now, but prior to that, he's probably had 12 months where he's been as fit as he's been in 3 or 4 years. Yeah. He will score a goal if someone gets him and plays him the way he should be played. Put him up with someone, or let someone do his running for him and get the ball to him in dangerous areas. I think he'll score
That's
goals.
the problem, though. He's going to demand big money, big wages, and I don't think anyone's going to want to take.
Well, West Brom looks like West Brom are going to take him on loan. Yeah, exactly. I think Newcastle in for him. West Ham would be after.
You'd take anything.
No, I would. I think if you use him in the right way, and you don't overload him with games, I think he will score goals.
I've said this before. If Daniel Sturridge was like 32, 33, people would be more appreciative of him because they'd be able to use him sparingly. You'd play him to his strengths. Whereas because he's 27, 28, and he should be in the prime of his career, people still think of him as that. If you think of him more like you're getting him, you get out of him what you can get out of him. You don't let him train. You just keep him wrapped in cotton wool, but you use him in games and get him to finish the ball. He'll be great. But here's the thing, there's different players for different situations, and Jurgen Klopp's system, and he's been like that since he was at Mainz, he requires everyone on the pitch to buy into what he's doing, and they need to be able, their first instinct is to close down, it's to run, it's to fight for the team, it's to die for the team physically. Daniel Sturridge, I'm sure, would want to do that, but I'm not sure it comes.
But then he would die.
No, but that's the point. No. But it's funny, but he cannot do it. He literally physically can't. I've seen him pull up short to stop himself from hurting himself. And that I don't think Klopp takes the blame. I don't think he gets the blame.
No pressure. You can get
No
injured.
pressure, shut up.
And then when you get to 29, you get a big move to your rivals.
Absolutely. Interesting, we've just done videos that we've recorded already, but going out on the channel. We've done about Aubameyang signing for Arsenal. Presumably
It's off, apparently, though. Off. I mean, don't want to worry any Arsenal fans, but it's off.
But
Moving to Tottenham.
why we think that might be, it might not
That
be a
bloke
good
that's cute,
move.
did you tell you that?
Yeah.
You just talk amongst yourselves.
We are doing.
Shut up.
Because it's more entertaining than you.
Shut up, Chappelle.
VAR. VAR.
We've done something on VAR, we've done something on Aubameyang. It's going to be on the channel, so make sure you go and check those videos as well.
And Paul
Thanks.
raiding classicfootballshirts.com. You've literally raided the place.
Literally, the clearance
Clearance
items.
sale.
His house stinks of mould now.
Just all I'd say about the people, there's one thing I'd say about people in the comments.
It smells like inside
Did
a
you wait till
Bernardo
they went
shop.
bankrupt to just buy them out? Took
Absolutely.
their stock.
Mate, yeah. It would take a lot of money. They're a big organisation, what can I say? Their warehouse is
Already
the
done
most
it
impressive
once.
thing I've seen in my life.
Is it the most impressive thing you've ever seen in your life?
Apart from my own penis. Anyway, thanks very much.
You've had a sheltered
and
life.
VAR.
You've had a sheltered life. They're the most impressive things.
Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much for subscribing. I would highly recommend subscribing
Classicfootballshirts.com or blowjob.
to the Redmen TV. I would highly recommend subscribing to Mates TV. I would highly recommend not subscribing to Toffee TV, but maybe Adam
That's an
McCollum as
endorsement
well.
right there.
I know, yeah. If you like Ped, go and get more Ped. If you want more Ped, we're going to be changing up the format of Social Club in a couple of weeks' time. So if you think Ped deserves to stay, let us know in the comments below.
The Big Brother style.
This
Vote
place will
people
go
out.
bankrupt without
Thanks
my
for
AdSense
watching.
input.
I will see you all soon. Ta-ra.